Okay. Show me.
Alright, fellas, I'm ready to fight.
Oh my gosh!
That's not me! That's not Cockroach Tony Montana!
We want the black people on the motherfucking wall of fame now!
Is that what you want?
I want you to be a hockey player! I am a hockey player!
Alright, I'm not a fucking athlete. This is my fucking way. This is how I win.
You go in pieces, asshole.
The Where We Gems Movie Podcast, your home for the most underrated and underappreciated films.
Hello and welcome to episode 7 of There Will Be Gems Movie Podcast, where we're always bringing you the shittiest, steamiest takes on some movies you may or may not have heard of. I'm here tonight with Tom.
Hello.
John.
Who knew we'd make it to 7? But hi.
Ryan.
Oh!
And I'm Tyler, and you're goddamn right we made it to 7. Coming to you here live on election night.
And that's all we're going to talk about. Regarding that.
Yeah. Cut it.
Now a political podcast.
Cut the political talk. Yep.
It's done. It's over with. We're done here. How was everyone's week? How are we doing out there?
You know, not too bad. Selling phones.
Well, I was on vacation last week, and then I had to go back to work this week. And being back in work feels weird. Work sucks.
It does, yeah. I'm enjoying it, though, even though I hurt my foot today at work, so.
Oh, I demolished John's balls by accident in the door.
That
sounds really weird out of context.
Yeah, it does.
I was going to the back room, John was coming in, and what was it, the door handle?
Yeah, right to the dick.
And I'm like working with this old couple as I'm like just cracking up.
What did they do?
They started laughing too.
They were laughing.
I'm just like sitting, like writhing in agony in like the back room for like a minute, and then I like waddle out there because like not only does my foot hurt, my dick hurts now too, and this like old couple is just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, oh. And like eternally, I'm like, I'm fucking dying. but I was like, yeah, I'm fine. You know, accidents happen. So that was our day.
Yikes! I had a good day.
It was fun. Yeah, we had a good time.
Make good sales.
Making sales, watching movies.
I heard you had some trouble watching a movie today.
Yeah, I would watch the first 20 minutes, and then I went back to go watch it, and it's 45 minutes. I'm like, I wasn't there. Then it's someone's already watching. I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah, I came home from work and sabotaged you.
Luckily, Papa John had his back and had the tablet on deck.
I get to watch 20 minutes, so I was able to finish by 8:15.
Nice.
Yeah, I just sat at my desk and watched the entire movie, basically. Not all at once. I split it up in 20-minute segments, but
you've seen this a bunch of times, though, right?
Yeah, that's probably my 13th time watching this movie. So
holy shit, that's a lot.
I've seen this movie a lot. It's probably my top 10.
How do you come across watching it so often? You're just I'm gonna I know I do that. I'm just gonna watch it again. You did the same thing.
Every once in a while, I'll just be you know what I really want to watch? Lucky Number Slevin. Or somebody would be oh, let's watch a movie, and I'd be well, I have a recommendation, and out of my 10 recommendations, this is normally one of them if they haven't seen it. So
my top recommendations constantly change.
Yeah.
It's I can't just recommend my favorite movies either, because a lot of them are kind of just not the most approachable movies.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
I just tell everyone to watch Requiem, and then they're like, "Why?"
I had a good time watching that movie. I finally seen it last week, so
yeah, we watched it in 4K with Mary Kate.
Ass to ass.
Yeah.
Come.
I was like, all right, guys, settle in. We got 10 minutes left, and this is just the best 10 minutes of filmmaking you'll ever see.
It actually felt longer than 10 minutes too. I was so sucked into the end of the movie. I was just I don't want this to end.
What do you mean? It's also that whole end sequence just so unnerving with it just getting faster and faster.
Yeah, it was just
that's
like
really good.
it was like right at the start of that sequence. I was like, okay, here we go. We got 10 minutes left, and you're just gonna get obliterated for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. Tom, how was your week?
Pretty good.
Good. How's Minecraft?
Pretty good.
Minecraft.
Mein Kampf? Anyways. So what's the topic for this week?
Not Mein Kampf.
Oh, okay. Tom, you had a composure. Yeah, Tom, you had a topic for this week?
Yeah, an actor that you really like in a supporting role. Just in general, more than, say, a leading role.
So I have a solid pick. It's actually Bill Hader.
Okay, explain yourself.
Well, so Bill Hader is always in supporting roles anyway, so it's kind of an easy pick for me. Like, if you think of any of the movies, like there's only like one or two that come to mind where he's actually like a leading man. If you're not counting that TV show Barry that he's on HBO or whatever. I don't know if it's still going on, but
show's weird.
Is it weird? Yeah. No, it's so like anytime he's like in a movie, like it just elevates the movie in my opinion. He's just such a fucking funny guy.
He's just funny. So out of pocket in everything he says, like every character ever.
Dude, do you guys know what the Criterion Closet is?
Is it the gay stuff?
So it's actually, I watched like all these on YouTube. It's actually pretty cool. So there's a little YouTube channel on YouTube. It's called the Criterion Closet, like the Criterion Releasing Company does it, and it's just a closet full of like Criterion releases, and they'll put like a notable like actor or director or someone in there, and they'll just like look on the wall and pick out a couple movies and talk about movies on the wall that they like. And there's one where Bill Hader's in it, and he pulls Sallow, 120 Days of Sodom off the wall. I don't know if you guys know about that movie. Just like, this is the best date movie ever. And then later on, he's like, oh, another great date movie, and pulls Antichrist off the shelf.
Bill Hader is a very, very quotable guy. Like especially Hot Rod being one of my favorite comedy movies of all time. Like he's perfect in that movie.
So good in Hot Rod.
I just thought of him like sitting there like in the hat and the shorts. I almost spit out my drink.
Yeah. Man, pools are perfect for holding water. Take it easy, Mountain Face.
Yep.
Or like his 5 seconds in like Pineapple Express.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like the guy at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, is that a gun?
I wonder if he was just on set. They're like, you want to play this role?
I feel like he just was. Like
him and Thomas Hayden Church.
Like him and Thomas Hayden Church were like in a lot down the street, and they're like, "You guys want to just do these parts real quick?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." Tom, what about yours? What are your picks?
Woody Harrelson.
All right.
Ooh.
Some examples.
It's more that if you try to name the movies that he's led, they're kind of it's not a deep pool of great movies. I think the biggest name would be Natural Born Killers, probably.
Oh, White Man Can't Jump.
Well, yeah, and like that's what I'm saying. But I prefer more in his supporting roles.
No, that makes sense.
That guy in Cheers.
Like every time I see him pop up in a movie, he always just plays this great character. It's fun to watch.
So how do you feel?
Like he's got this way of talking, like just delivering any line like in a good way. Kingpin was a really good one.
God,
this is some slanderous talk about Kingpin.
Oh man.
Yeah, Kingpin is obviously me loving Bill Murray.
I like that. That's the first movie I thought of.
Yeah,
I also.
Yeah, me too.
He was in the first season of True Detective with Matthew McConaughey, and that show is very good. That's probably my favorite season. But they're partners. They're partners, and it's more about what Matthew McConaughey does, but Woody Harrelson's along for the whole ride, and it sheds some focus on him, and he's really good at it.
Also, he's Carnage, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, well, it's not. There's another movie too, but I can't mention it because I'm probably going to pick it for this at some point.
Okay.
What's like the first? What's the first Woody Harrelson? What's the first Woody Harrelson supporting role that comes to your mind, like when you
No
hear
Country for Old Men.
Oh, I forgot he was even in that.
Mine's actually Anger Management.
I've only seen that like once a long time ago.
when he plays the transvestite prostitute. I don't know why I immediately just thought of that when Tom brought up What Heroes.
I think of 3 billboards in Ebbing, Missouri, for some reason.
I'm not as cultural as most folks, so I immediately go to the Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, that was an Oscar movie. That was a pretty well-received movie.
What, Anger Management?
No, three billboards.
Oh, well, anyways, Ryan, what about yours?
I would say like Tom Hardy.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good one.
I can't really think of any movie that like he even like leads in, but I always like him as like besides Mad Max, but like does he lead in it? He says like 9 words.
I don't really consider them like I didn't really like that remake, but
Oh, I loved that.
I didn't think it was that great.
I loved it. It was just really good, like cinematically. But anytime I like see him as like a supporting role, he's always pretty.
Yeah, because he was in the movie with Shia LaBeouf, right? The Three Brothers or whatever. Like
what is it? The Fury.
Yeah, they were right.
Never seen it.
Or no, like I thought
He's
they
in
were,
it.
like
He's in it, but I haven't seen it.
Is that the one where they're moonshiners or whatever?
That's one where they're in a tank the whole movie.
Oh, I'm thinking about the one where they're moonshiners.
Moonshiners.
Well, he was really good in The Revenant. Like, way too good.
I thought he was honestly. I hated The Revenant, and he was like the only part of the movie. I'm like, oh, he was actually fucking fire.
Yeah,
I've never seen that movie. I've never seen it because everybody like says they like hated it.
I find it laughable that that's the movie Leo got his Oscar for.
Yeah,
I honestly thought he was like fine, but it was like just imagine. I think it's like 2.5 hours of Leo just going.
Yeah, he was way better in Django. Yeah.
Better
Tom
Shutter
Hardy.
Island.
That's on my list, Tom. That's coming up.
Yeah,
that's
a good one.
I watched The Prestige the other night. And God, no, that was great. Good movie.
Yeah, the ending.
Yeah, so I thought didn't see that movie before, but I have seen that movie because I remember the ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like I like it didn't ruin the experience for me because like I forgot up until the part where I saw it. I'm like, wait a minute, I have seen this movie. So
yeah, they throw a lot at you, so it's like maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah, Michael Caine's in it.
Yeah.
Tyler, what about you?
All right, I got 2 picks because I don't think anyone's actually gonna know who my first one is. My first pick would be Jeffrey Combs. Does anyone know who that is?
That sounds familiar.
I know the name, yeah.
So he's the
brother, right?
He is in that actually.
I know.
But he's the main guy from the movie Reanimator. That's like the only lead role. That's the only lead role he does a good job in that sticks out to me. Like he's been lead. I've seen him leads in plenty of like crappy horror movies. But he's a good actor, but he's not that great of an actor.
Yeah,
in like the sense of leading a film. But there's a bunch of like movies he's in where he has a supporting role, where he's just a great character actor and it just translates better. The first one I can think of is The Frighteners from '95 with Michael J. Fox, directed by Peter Jackson. He plays this like detective that gets assigned to the case that like specializes in the paranormal, and he's all like fucked up from going undercover in cults and stuff, and he's so weird. And he talked about the role like at a convention I was at, so like wicked funny once. He was like, I guess Peter Jackson's like the weirdest guy, and he would call him like Jif, like the peanut butter. And he's like just jokingly like showing him like outfits for for the movie like that he would like to wear. He's like thinking he's just gonna like laugh at him for. He's like, "Oh, that's great." And then like he drew on the haircut. He showed him pictures of like a young Hitler. He's like, "I was thinking about this for my." He was like, "Yes, that's good. Let that one." And his haircut's like a young Hitler in the movie.
Jeff.
Yes, Jeff. If it makes you happy, you can wear.
And so aside from him, though, more notable actor in the mainstream, I would say Keith David.
Oh yeah,
I can't think. Yeah, I can't think of like anything he's the lead in, but like he's like same deal. Like he's got a couple like strong character actor citing roles that he does a great job. Like They Live, The Thing, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, it didn't take it out for air.
I see that.
I know it's pretty. I didn't take it out for air.
Yeah, I know it's pretty to look at.
The best. When he showed up, it was almost as good as Billy Ray Cyrus in Mulholland Drive. Yeah, that'll always be my favorite. Like random person in a movie. It was Billy Ray Cyrus in that fucking movie. Oh my god!
Imagine like that's who you like your girlfriend is cheating on you with too, Billy Ray Cyrus.
The one-hit wonder himself. The only good thing he ever made was his daughter, and even she's not great.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna not touch that one.
Hey, you know what? We don't like to touch things that give us diseases, though. Anyway, just giant centipedes aside, let's get into the movie.
This is a Kansas City Shuffle. They look right. And you go left.
Not the guy you're looking for. I don't live here.
Yeah, well, you look like the guy that lives here.
Are you familiar with the Shmoo, Mr. Fisher? Comic strip I liked as a boy.
There are 3 things that you may not do in order to save a life, including his own.
20 years ago, he used to be my bookie. I used to sign my paychecks over to him.
So I guess no one ever taught you not to use the word you're defining in the definition.
So, Tom, this is your pick, so why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so this is it's a fun crime drama. It's set up as one thing and it goes in another direction by the end of it. It's studded with a great cast.
It really is. Yeah, it's stacked like pancakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a long movie. It moves pretty quickly. Yeah, I think something funny about this movie is it actually won underrated movie of the year when it came out.
It's well deserving, yeah. It's definitely well deserving.
I mean, talk about a good pick for this podcast. It won underrated movie of the year. Yeah, so
what else? I'm trying to think. What that was 2006.
Yeah, and like I'm very surprised nobody's seen this movie because like was people like Stanley Tucci, like Ben Kingsley, and Morgan Freeman in this movie, and even Josh Hartnett at that time. Like Josh Hartnett, like in 2006, was like he was like pretty much a household name with like movies like fucking 40 Days a Night, and I believe this was it before. I think it was after this movie 30 Days a Night came out, but like he was well known. Like everyone in this movie is pretty well known. Like Bruce Willis is in it too, so I mean like and Lucy Liu. Like it's just like. From top to bottom, there's like so many good people in this movie.
Right. And I think he was even being eyed for either a Marvel or DC role at some point.
Josh Hartnett,
I remember like the early mid 2000s. He was hot shit.
I like how the only thing I had known him from was The Faculty.
The Faculty.
I forgot. Yeah, that's right. He was in that movie. Yeah, Penny
Dreadful.
Yeah, that's a big thing I think about him from.
Yeah, he was very good in that too.
I really like that show. I didn't think I'd like that.
I like the first couple of seasons.
Yeah.
He was on Halloween H2O2 that came out like right after The Faculty.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, like
I've never heard of the director though. I don't know anything else about him.
Me either.
Honestly, the worst thing about this movie is the title.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense. Name of a horse though, so you know.
Yeah,
like, those are always
sense.
terrible.
Yeah, it makes sense, but it just has a very like unappealing title. Like that's what it does. Yeah. Like, that's where I would have missed this. Like, I've heard about this movie. I never knew what it was about. I think I was always just like, that sounds stupid. I'm not going to watch that. And, like, nobody ever, like, really, like, recommended it enough. Like, or, like, if we gave you a reason to check it out. So I think I was just always off to like that. And it came out, like, at a time where I guess I was still young enough where I would have missed something like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Or, like, I probably would have just, if this would come out today, I would probably see it at movie theaters.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah. I think I probably watched this on like Showtime or like HBO or something. Actually, the first time I saw this, it was like 2007, I think. Yeah. I just randomly stumbled upon it. That was like the day and age where I would just come home from work, watch a movie, and then go to my other job.
Yeah,
like almost every day. That's when I watch things like this and like The Last Kiss and a couple of other movies.
Yeah, The Last Kiss.
The Last Kiss with Tree Braff.
Can't remember if you showed me this movie or Bob did, but I remember watching it at the Red House for the first time.
I think it was collectively because I know Bob saw it too, and we were talking about it. And then you said you didn't watch this. I was like, well, we need to fucking watch this movie then.
Yeah,
like we need to.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It really is it's definitely my top 15.
I've been trying to finish my top 10. Like I have the first half of my top 10 done, so I've been thinking about the bottom half, and I think this might slide in there.
Mine constantly changes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think I have my top 10 movies I love to hate done. I have that done. I can't like picking my favorite movies is really hard. Like I can't put Marvel movies in there just for the reason. I mean, if I put any in there, it'd probably be Winter Soldier, just because like it's a good movie. But like, I can't realistically put something like Avengers Endgame up against like a movie like this or something like that.
Yeah, but what about Homecoming or Far From Home?
I feel
like those could stack up to a movie like this.
They could, but like I feel like I have to be unbiased when it comes to like my favorite movie, like top 10, because like I just love those movies. Like they're fun to watch for me, and like I can watch them 100 times. But like if I'm gonna pick like my favorite movies that are like just good pieces of cinematography as well, like I can't put those movies in there.
I feel like the Michael Keaton twist though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a good twist.
And of course, it's Spider-Man. There's great visuals in that movie.
Yeah,
like,
for someone that has absolutely no investment in those movies and just watches them at face value, that movie was a standout among them for me.
Yeah, like that movie, Winter Soldier and Ant-Man are probably like the best ones, like movie wise, in my opinion.
No,
I love
Ant-Man.
I love it. Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man. It's a father-daughter thing, so that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, it's just lacking. I feel like if you're gonna name the best Marvel movies, Ant-Man is definitely not it.
Fair, that's fair. It's one of the best for me.
Yeah, but yeah. So if you're making your top 10, you can put personal bias in there.
Yeah, you can put as much personal bias as you want.
That's the entire point of your top 10.
That's true, but I feel like if I went into a top 10, I would have to do a separate one just for like superhero movies. Just because there's so many of them now, and like I have so many favorites, and like number one would probably be The Winter Soldier, though, just because it's such a great movie.
I'm in this weird spot where I don't really like a lot of my old favorites as much anymore.
I kind of man too. Like there's a lot of movies that I used to watch probably when I was a teenager and stuff that I'm just like not into anymore. Like Knocked Up's one of them. Like I used to watch that movie like religiously, and now I just don't think it's like that funny anymore.
Like it's like the one Seth Rogen movie I've never understood why everyone loves it.
Yeah, like the more I watch it, like the more I see wrong with it.
I just remember like the first time I saw it, I was like, Knocked Up is so funny. Then I watched it, I'm like, this movie kind of sucks.
Actually, what's better is actually the pseudo sequel to that movie. This is 40. That movie's way better than Knocked Up. Mostly because it's red.
I think people just want to pretend there's a good story in it.
Yeah, there's like those like early Apatow movies that like really isn't. Which is weird because Freaks and Geeks is like actually a pretty good TV show if you've ever seen it.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, I like it a lot. But back to Lucky Number Slevin, the movie that we were supposed to be talking about. Yeah. Anyway, rants over. So Tom, how do you want to proceed with this? It's your pick.
So it's another tough one because there's a big twist near the end.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a huge spoiler section.
Oh, I have plenty to talk about before the twist.
Yeah.
So I think I want to talk a little bit about Josh Hartnett's character.
Yeah.
How we start off the movie. Well, at least when we pick up with him, we start off in an apartment. He's getting out of the shower, and he goes to the door. And there's a case of mistaken identity. They think he's this guy Nick, and he's saying he isn't. And he kind of keeps that up through a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
And we don't really get an answer as to is that true or not, and why are you disputing that, and if so, why are you here in this apartment? And I think that's pretty neat. It gives you something to think about right off the bat.
Even before that, this movie does something that I've noticed in movies I really like in general. So I call it hitting the ground running.
Yep.
Where I like movies like this where they don't actually like have this section where they find a way to just like introduce the characters for you and like you have this introduction period. I like these movies that like you just start in the middle of the story and you're just moving and you catch up later.
No, it does that very well. This movie is like probably the best example of something like that. Well, maybe not the best example, but from what I've seen, I should say.
But like with like that first scene with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Like you're already like you have no context, but you're already just like brought into the movie and you're following along, and it gives them a good way to like keep his character mysterious and also let you know that it's someone that's important to the story.
Exactly.
Right. And I really like where it takes place too.
Yeah. I suspected something right from there. I had a lot of like half suspicions this movie. I'm like, oh, this is what's gonna happen, and I think it was just on the virtue of like I've seen movies before.
Yeah. I remember my first time.
I felt the same way.
Yeah, because it's like I never had like reasons to actually think these were gonna go that way, other than like I've seen movies before.
Yeah.
But it's like I really like how it just jumps right in, and then like it comes up and shores that up later, and then like you get this then you get this like obvious foreshadowing about this story of this family getting murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it gives you a good like dark undertone, and it like gives you gives like Bruce Willis's character like a veil of darkness throughout the whole movie. Yeah, and like that's really, and then like you see like what he's doing with like later on when how he's interacting with everyone. It adds a lot by just the simple structuring of this movie like that.
Now, having talked about Bruce Willis's character a little bit, what would everyone rate his mustache out of 10?
I fucking die. I'm giving that a 10.
Yeah,
his mustache is a 10 out of 10 for me.
That's so fucking good. That was
a mustache ride mustache.
That is like 70s porn star John Holmes. I'm gonna fuck you in the butt with Vaseline mustache. I love it. 10 out of 10.
That was a pretty good mustache.
What?
Yeah.
Also,
he's already. How do we make him look younger? Let's give him hair.
Slap a mustache and a ponytail on him.
Yeah, and also we get Josh Hartnett in a Nothing But a Towel for a good like 10 minutes of the movie.
For a while. I love that too.
We were actually like 35 minutes in before we put clothes on.
Yeah. It's like it works really well. Like the whole upbeat pace throwing you right into it. You never really get your footing, and he doesn't either. And it's a good pace. Like I really like that.
That's one thing I've definitely noticed about movies later. With all the movies I watched last month, especially horror movies, I was trying to watch at least one a day. I know that's one thing about movies I really noticed, that like when you start a movie like hitting the ground running like that, it doesn't give you time to like settle in and like lose interest. It just gets your mind working right away. Which is something I definitely or something happens like right at the beginning that like jars you or like shocks you, like beginning like the beginning of like Midsummer. That's we watched that last night where like you you see that happen right away. It's like that, like you got a character introduction, but it also like gave you something to focus on from there. And then like a movie like this where like you just hit the ground running, you're just interject into these lives and you will learn as you go along. There's a couple like especially like the big horror movies that like it just like it gets so slow at the beginning and it gets good and like you forgive it, but I see the complaints like with these like a lot of these older movies that like are kind of like held in secret. Like The Exorcist, man, you get the first half hour of that movie is so fucking boring, and you just forgive it once you get past that. But
I feel like what do you call it? The Shining is the same way.
The Shining is the other big example, except it's not the beginning. It's like towards like the end. It's just like it just needs you can only I see what they're doing. They really want to like he really wants to use the camera and do impressive things like that and use the sound, just visuals to give you like a nauseous feeling. But it's just like it's just when you're watching it for 2.5 hours and then like it's the same stuff like winding down. It's like it does like drag towards like the kind of the middle between the second and third act.
Yeah.
Tyler,
also, I'm pretty sure that movie is pronounced Midsommar.
Yeah.
Midsummer. It's Midsummer.
Midsommar.
I'm pretty sure it's just Midsummer.
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure I could
Summer is
spell.
spelled with an E, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie moves out like a super fast pace. It's almost 2 hours. It does not feel like that at all.
It really doesn't. And like it's paced to the point where like you can still follow it pretty well too. It's
very easy to follow.
It really
it's
is.
It's also like anything that any sort of like scenes that normally would be like, oh, that's kind of whatever. It's kind of like it's all like filled with a lot of snappy dialogue, which is probably like my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
it was just like how quippy everybody was.
Yes, I loved it so much.
My type of movie.
Yeah, my type of dialogue for sure.
Yeah,
like
a lot of sass being thrown around.
Like when he first goes into the apartment, he's just like, it's my orders are orders, and then he's just like, you shouldn't use a verb like this. Punch in the fucking gut.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you wisecracking cunt.
Oh, if you like quippy dialogue, wait until the pick for next week. No spoilers.
Just like this whole like subgenre of like comedic dark comedy, dark thrillers is like just not something I expected to be as good as it is.
Yeah,
they're really good.
I can't get enough, honestly. But like they throw a little bit of mystery in there too.
Yeah,
they throw some scenes at you where they're really important, but you don't have a way of understanding that they're important yet, and it comes in later.
Oh yeah,
like it builds it so nicely.
That's the majority of stuff I try to watch. Just
yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I really appreciate this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into the next part.
When we're still pretty much just him showing up at Nick's apartment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he gets thrown into like this. He's supposedly this guy Nick, and this guy Nick owes this big crime boss, the boss, money, a lot of money. And so
Nick Fisher.
I mean, so he shows up, and initially he's saying, "I'm not this guy," but then he falls pretty quickly into the "okay, I owe you money" kind of thinking. Like I feel like a little too quickly.
You pretty much immediately is just like, "All right, you think I'm Nick? Whatever."
Right.
Yeah. I never thought he was Nick.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think they.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying he's not Nick from the start, but they don't tell you who else he could be or like what he was doing there if he's not Nick, because he was in the shower too, which is kind of weird.
That's true, yeah.
I think when he like really quickly like shrugged off, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna do what you guys are saying," is when I started to really like get the gears turning. I ended up like pretty much figuring out what like the ending was gonna be. I was like, "There's gonna be some sort of thing," and I was like, "That's like probably the first moment where I was like, oh, why is he just like so easy going along?"
Because he's.
I just thought that was weird. I just thought
they do give an explanation later. He says to Lucy Liu's character, he has this condition where he can't feel like panic or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like at that point, yes, they don't tell you that at that point, and I was totally suspicious there.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. He was like me and the boss too, where like he had opportunities to explain that like they have the wrong guy, and it's like he gave up on it when he finally had the opportunity and just went along with it. That was weird.
Right when he got his opportunity to talk, he was just like, "Okay, I owe you money. What do you need me to do?"
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all say things and do things that we don't want to do.
I don't know. I think I'd be answering a little better if I was in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'd cry like a little bitch.
Well, that's fun. No, you can't cry in front of people like that.
I don't owe you money. I'm not Nick Fisher. I'm Tyler.
They'll kill you for fun. You can't cry in front of people like that.
No, don't cry in front of anyone.
Not even my cat.
No, only
you can't show weakness in front of Mr. B.
Yeah,
not even the Bushes drunk at a party.
No, always in the bushes, drunk at a party.
That's the only one you're allowed to.
Yeah,
as long as Mr. B's not in the bush.
As long as Mr. Beak is not an earshot.
No, because he will judge you for the rest of your life.
He'll scratch your face.
He'll cry all day.
Oh my god.
Good old Mr. B.
I was dying because John changed John's ringtone and just made me crying. So every time we got a text, we're just like sitting there. Just,
oh, I changed it again, but I forgot to turn my volume back on today. No spoilers.
That's what it sounds like if fucking like you don't give him attention at night and he wants attention. You just like walk door to door and just goes.
He demands satisfaction.
Yeah. Well, Mr. B's not in this movie.
No.
Unfortunately.
But someone just like him is, and it's Ben Kingsley.
Oh my god.
So before we get to Ben Kingsley, before we get there,
my friend Red.
So this is where we learn about what the whole plot is. What the boss wants, quote unquote, Nick to do this $96,000. And we get a little backstory on how him and the rabbi are two rival crime lords, and they're afraid to go outside for fear of what the other one will do to them when they step outside.
Yep.
So the boss needs Nick to do something to get at the boss for him. He needs him to kill someone. He needs him to kill the rabbi's son. So they set up this whole plot and go from there.
Which I'm not even going to try to pronounce his son's name.
Yeah.
Out of fear of like hurting someone's feelings.
So the boss, of course, is that
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
I am the boss.
I'm the boss.
Master
Morgan
Wayne.
So, I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, but if I see Morgan Freeman, I'm like, oh shit, this is serious.
No, that is true, yeah.
I buy it. I believe it. Like, this guy's gonna like break my kneecaps if I don't do something for his $96,000.
Yeah, I feel like every movie I see him in, he has another like mole on his face too. Like the more movies, like for every movie he's in, the more moles he has on his face.
I like how
it's probably a Family Guy joke.
Is it?
Probably.
Can somebody look that up, please, and verify?
No,
we're not going to look it up, John.
He somehow looked just old for 40 years.
He really has.
He looks like exactly the same as he does in Shawshank, just with grayer hair.
He literally does, though.
Patrick Stewart is the same, too.
Yeah, he's eternal. Yeah. And Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Just old
forever. Ian McKellen looks like an artifact. I wouldn't go that
artifact. He belongs in a museum.
Patrick Stewart still looks the same. Ian McKellen he looks like he should be just like on an antique shelf.
Antique, like
Ian McKellen.
Something you like cross by at a Goodwill, and you're like, should we get this for the house? Just an Ian.
That's nice.
It's just Ian McKellen. Should we just put him on a shelf somewhere?
It's like I was Magneto. Sure you were, Ian. Sure you were.
And Gandalf the Grey. I'm not going to use my alternate names for him because this is on the internet. So, anyways, so where do we go next?
We go back to the apartment.
Yeah.
After Nick, he didn't actually agree to kill him yet. He's just like he was offered. Yeah. He was like offered to pay off the debt by like
killing him.
Not pay me $96,000 if you kill the rabbi's son.
Right. So they gave him some time to think about it.
Yeah.
And then brought him back to his apartment in his towel.
Yeah.
In the towel. She already flashed Lucy Lou his dick at some point.
If he didn't run his mouth, he would have gotten dressed. The guy said that in the car ride over. He's like, well, if you didn't run your mouth, you wouldn't be cold.
Yeah.
Like that snappy dialogue.
It is. Quippy.
Yes.
Snappy.
But yeah, then Lucy Lou shows up.
Shut down.
Oh, Lucy Lou.
Yeah. Charlie's Angels.
Jesus.
Shanghai Nights. Oh no, she's not in the movie. Is she in Shanghai Noon?
Wow, that's racist.
I hope she's in Shanghai Noon.
She's in one of them.
I hope she's not in either of them. You're
Can somebody fact check? Well, they're set in America, and actually, the first one's in America, the other one's in Britain. So it's not that racist. It's just because Jackie Chan's in it.
What? John, you're digging yourself a hole here.
Jackie Chan is not in that.
Jackie Chan is 100% in that with Owen Wilson.
No, it's Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn.
It is not. That's Wedding Crashers. Or like the intern.
Shanghai Noon.
That's not. Can somebody check? I'm pretty sure she's in the first one.
I'm looking up her filmography.
I'm pretty sure she was in that.
Okay, it's not in her like featured actress.
Why would it be?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it's the first one. Anyways, while Tyler's looking that up, let's keep this train rolling.
We'll get back to the apartment. Meets up with Lucy Liu again.
Yep.
And she's like in it.
What happened?
She's getting ready to like seriously start investigating what happened to Nick because he's still not back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like island phone numbers and stuff.
Yeah, because she's following him, and she sees Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith shows up, and she sees Mr. Smith in the elevator.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
No, that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I thought that was
after he meets the rabbi.
Yeah.
Well, she goes looking for him. That had happened because she was following him.
No, because he goes back to the apartment.
Yeah,
and then she's like, "All right, we're ready to investigate." And then that's when she starts. She goes to like the hotel, and tracks that down. And then while she leaves, then the rabbi's goons show up.
Yeah,
good old Corey Stoll.
Yeah, get thrown back into like a very similar situation.
In a towel.
Yeah, in a towel, still mouthing off again. But I mean, at least this time on the car ride, the guy who hit him is apologetic. He's, shows a little bit of sympathy.
He's not even he's apologetic for his friend. He's like,
well, yeah, but I mean, the guy who did it does feel apologetic, even if he won't say it.
And then when he talks to the car, he's like, "Why doesn't he talk? You got to ask him. Is he gonna say anything?"
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nope. Love that. It's like it keeps with the tone too, where you never really get an answer for what's going on. You just have to like remember what they're telling you and just keep going along for a while.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tyler,
do we have clarification on the Shanghai Noon debacle?
All right, she's in Shanghai Noon.
I knew it.
Wait, was Vince Vaughn in it?
No, he was not. Not even close. He was in Starsky and Hutch. Anyway,
he was in the Talisman's cartoon. Kidding.
Anyways, moving right along.
Yeah.
He gets to the rabbi's hotel, apartment building, whatever, and he immediately just like, "Oh, let me guess, top floor," and then just like points to the security guard, tells him to send him up.
Yeah, we've been through this before.
He's like, "This ain't my first rodeo."
Yeah.
It was
like
penthouse.
Second.
Yeah.
Except this time it's only $33,000.
Yeah, it's not that much. That's like a year's worth of work for some people.
It's only a third of what he owed the other guy.
The one thing I was disappointed when he got to the apartment and I was expecting an English Ben Kingsley, and I got a dirty New Yorker Ben Kingsley.
I love that though. He plays it well.
No, I was going to play it well. I was like hoping just this little sassy British boy that he's just like a dirty New Yorker accent.
Yeah.
It's like, you owe me fucking money.
I like when he pulls the shotgun out at him too.
He's just like, you didn't pat me down.
Yeah.
He's like,
any questions? And he still has to shoot his mouth off.
Yeah. You're a ballsy guy when you like someone's pointing a fucking shotgun at you and you're still running your mouth.
Yeah,
that would be me.
I like how he's just like, he's like, as a Jew, if you try to kill me, I can kill you because I'm defending myself.
Yeah, because he's a rabbi or whatever.
It's acceptable.
Yeah. It's like it's acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I can't kill you in cold blood, but I can kill you in self-defense.
Yeah, it was premeditated murder, adultery, and something else.
False idolship, something.
Yeah, and he's like super Jew in this movie, and I love it.
Yeah,
he's the rabbi.
He is the rabbi. He has the Torah and everything. Well, that's for a little bit later.
Yeah.
Next.
So Josh Hartnett's balls deep into this now, and
he's still
kind of taking it as a joke. He seems more concerned with Lucy Liu's character.
Well, I mean,
go back and they bang.
But
I would be too.
Yeah. It's like, yo, I'm gonna die. Yeah, I was getting jealous. Like, you fucking hang out with Lucy Liu always. Bullshit.
Yeah.
If Matt LeBlanc can make out with Lucy Liu, I can too. That's just how it is.
You don't got friends money?
Yeah, you don't got friends money. 1 million episode.
You're right. I have friends right here, and they're priceless. There you go.
Yeah, you could. But what if you had 22 episodes a season and getting $1 million an episode?
Yeah. I don't have that.
That's a lot of money.
And you can have Lucy Liu.
Well, then I'll work on that.
Buy all the friends you want.
I'll contact the VP of my company and be like, I need $1 million per day for 22 days.
We got to make Shanghai Noon 2.
They did. It called Shanghai Nights, and it was awful.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shanghai
Actually,
Nights.
it was all right. There was a sweet Jack the Ripper like part in that movie that I really like. Actually,
yeah,
I love Jack the Ripper. But anyways, moving right along.
So Lucy Liu has now seen Mr. Smith on the elevator. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when he gets back to the apartment.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah,
I followed him. And then she's like,
then he walked in and you walked out.
Like, who the fuck are y'all?
Yeah, because the hotel keeps calling her, calling Nick's apartment, so she ends up going to the hotel to do some investigating, like normal people do.
Like normal people that have jobs and things a career do.
Yeah, we just we investigate shit on our nights off.
Amateur sleuthing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like Scooby and the gang.
So after Josh Hartnett has the conversation with the rabbi, the rabbi starts talking to Mr. Smith and what his plan is, and he says that he's planning to kill the kid. So that's another double cross here in the works. Where we're now thinking that Mr. Smith is gonna have this guy kill the rabbi's son for him, and then he's gonna kill him and frame him.
Yeah. Make it look like a suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're gay and we're crazy.
We're gay and the world's unfair.
Yeah.
The Krusty Krab is unfair. Anyways.
And his son, he has that cool Star of David thing with the
panic button
on it.
Yeah.
That's a neat little touch.
Yeah.
It's not like a bag
I
of
love when they're like explain like, oh, he's got a panic button around it, and then like they do like a little flash scene where like he accidentally gets it touched and the dude just gets laid the fuck out.
Yeah.
Touched it. He's like, oh no, they're gonna be here any second.
Yeah, you're fucking dead.
Fucking.
I actually want to talk about that a little bit later, but we'll get to that when we get to that part because I love that with that part that I'm thinking of. But anyways, let's keep it going. I'm just laughing just thinking about it. Anyways, so yeah, they where are we going next, Tom?
All right, so we're back in the apartment where she says she saw, what was it? Nick go in and him go out. What was?
She saw him go in and she was hanging out at and then like an hour later she was about to leave. And she saw Nick and she saw Slevin come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, "What the fuck are you into?"
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, "How are you staying so calm?" And that's where he explains that he has that condition.
Yeah.
He doesn't panic. And so he's really considering what to do and how to go about it. And then they go bang.
Yeah. I was jealous.
No, they bang after dinner. Come on.
Yeah, they go to dinner.
That's a whole piece of the plot.
Yeah, that's way.
Yeah, we're also skipping over the detective parts.
Well, yeah, we didn't get to the detective
parts.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When he's leaving, that's important. When he's leaving, the Jewish tower.
Whoa.
The detectives are like, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, right.
So now you're introduced to the detectives,
which is Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
in one of his best roles.
It is kind of wild at this point where you have all these characters you don't really actually know like any of their motivations because you have Bruce Willis bopping around. You have Slevin who doesn't think anything seriously, and you got the two heads of the crime rings, and then you have
Corey
now
Stoll.
you have these detective coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
There's
like,
a lot
I
of
need to
people-
protect my city. Who is this guy? I was in
Who's this
Transformers
fucking
5. Remember that? I was in Transformers. Nobody? Okay.
No one says
That's right.
I was in the Lovely Bones. No? Okay.
Yeah, and so at this point, Lucy Liu's character works at a morgue, and the detectives have shown up and seen that a loan shark turned up dead, and he said that he even had that guy as his loan shark like 20 years ago. He's signing his paychecks over to it, so we get a little more of this world building. How all these people they're showing us seem to be connected in some way.
Yeah.
Weird how that works.
Um,
He took a fucking baseball to the face.
That he did.
Yeah.
yeah.
What a
Yeah.
what a way to die at a Yankees game, eh?
Yikes.
No better way to go.
Yeah.
Fucking who was on the team? Johnny Damon at that time? I don't know.
So when is it that the detectives pick him up for the first time?
So,
It's
the
it's
first-
after dinner.
I'll get that. So
Okay.
before they go to dinner, he goes back and agrees. He goes back to Morgan Freeman and agrees to kill the guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and he
gives him
wants
that
a
shit,
week
yeah.
to do it. But
Yeah, because he
3
wants.
days.
Yep, and he's like, "Oh, it's not much. It's not much of a choice when you're being forced to."
If you play me in chess, you can have your week.
That is not what happened.
That's literally what he says.
No, he had to beat him in chess.
Well, yeah.
But he said that everybody lets him win,
Yeah.
and he gives him his 3 days. He doesn't give him his week.
Yeah.
Right.
He lost.
Yes.
He's
So
a loser.
and that's when he goes back, and then Lucy Liu's leaving to go to work. She's like, "Well, can we have dinner after work?" And then you're like, "Damn, fuck you, Josh Hartnett."
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only
So
I
then
could
they
have
go-
some of that wonton, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So then they go out to dinner, and he's like, kind of like gets her up to speed on everything that's going on. She's like, "Hey, the hit's right behind us," and then the rabbi's gay son is behind him at some other dinner party, and then he points out to her like, "I can't just go walk and talk to him, even though that's what I want to do, because there's his bodyguards right there."
Yeah.
And she's all impressed that he's good at picking this stuff up now. And at this time, the cops are obviously on their trail, on like the rabbi's kids' trail. They know what's going on with all these people.
Yeah, and they left that one guy in the van, and he's all upset. They could have got a reservation for 3. Like there was no
There's only reservations for 2.
Yeah. Exactly. They left him in the van because he was fatter, and they didn't want to spend the extra money. It's bullshit.
They did it for comic relief.
Yeah, I like that he picked up on the bodyguards by the fact that they had like really thick stubble.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
I
pretty
think
funny.
he just picked up on him, like knowing like where to identify who they were. I didn't think that.
No, he said he was making gestures like big beards.
Yeah.
Because they're Jewish, and they all had big beards, and then all of a sudden there's these 2 sketchy looking guys with thick stubble.
They're Israelis.
Yeah. I think that was pretty important because she's saying, "Hey, you're starting to get pretty good at this," and that's like another clue that he's no stranger to what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's not just some random guy who ended up.
That was a pretty good pickup, honestly.
Yeah, he also refers to them as Israelis too, because they're actually not American.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like at the same time, he's making the gesture about the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then finally this guy's son has to go take a leak, and Slevin uses this opportunity to go try to get some one-on-one time with them and warn him someone's trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And that's when he gets cornered by the cop.
Right.
After he makes a date with that guy.
Yeah, I have next on this bathroom.
Like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, the detective is the one starting to ask the questions that the audience should have at this point. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
okay, if you're not Nick, who are you and why are you here?
Holler if you hear me!
Whoa, slow down there, Chief. Looks like we are entering spoiler territory. If you have not seen this film and would prefer for it not to be spoiled, you may want to consider skipping to the timestamp provided below. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, and he still just doesn't even say he's not Nick.
Yeah, exactly. Like at every real opportunity, he just like kind of avoids that part of it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I'm some guy.
Yeah.
My name is Slevin Culebra.
Yeah, that's what he tells him. He's like, that name Culebra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part at the end.
Yeah. Oh, no spoilers.
I mean, just that actor. He was the vacuum guy from Breaking Bad.
He's basically a cop in like every fucking movie he's in.
Yeah.
My favorite is another movie that will be brought up eventually, but not anytime soon.
I don't think it was him, but you know who he looks like? He looks like one of the gangsters in Sneaky Pete in the second season. The one with like the greasy long hair.
Oh, okay.
The one that wasn't Desmond Johnson.
Sneaky.
He looks like that guy. I was thinking, like, the whole movie's like, is that him? I'm like, nah, I don't think that's him. Yeah.
All right, so this is where they go back and bang. They go back to the apartment, and then they're like,
yes, they're finally on the banging.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the movie.
Fine.
Honestly, I didn't like this part because they threw in that weird like foo-foo music, and I thought that was kind of really off.
There was not a single titty in sight.
Well, yeah, they're not gonna. Lucy Liu's not gonna show her tits in like some like comedy crime thriller.
That's why you don't know about Lucy Liu anymore.
Yeah, that's why she's not an actress.
Not so lucky.
Yeah, she's not even in Shang-Chi, and that movie is 90% Asian people.
She needs to get. If you want to see Lucy Liu's boobs, you gotta get like you need to cast her in like a Scorsese movie or something. She's just not gonna show them for anyone.
That's fair.
Yeah, she's not gonna mount for Mr. Paul McGillen.
Not even for Bruce Willis.
Not even for Bruce Willis.
There's no supporting actress on the horizon in this role. She's keeping the girls locked up.
That's fair. Anyways, they bang. They have that cute moment. She leaves the door open. They bang. Can we get a bang?
Finally,
I think that's what we
bang
need
counter?
in the podcast. Yeah, bang counter. Like how many times? Like just like instead of like the spoiler alert that you put in, you should just put like a bang alert coming up.
Well, you're the one that talks about her banging so bad.
Well,
yeah, and then these actors have fake sex.
Well, they do.
What? They do. I was there.
Oh,
wait, like the actors. The actors.
Because when I do my episodes, I like to throw in trivia bivia, and that was good trivia bivia.
They made him put on a dick sock. Let's be real.
I like a good dick sock. I wear one every time I make love.
Don't use those words.
What? Fine. Every time I fuck.
All right, let's move on to the next part.
Hey, John, you know that scene that I really like in the garage?
Yes.
Has that happened yet? I mean, I know it's happened, but have they show it twice? Have they showed it the second time yet?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, never mind. Because there's two scenes in particular that are probably my favorite scenes in the movie. One's coming up soon, but that one comes a little bit later.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
So after the cops pick them up and feel them out.
Yep.
And they do the thing. What do they do after that?
They just let him out of the back of the van and make him run.
Yeah.
Which I like.
They're gonna like throw him out. They're like, "Oh, this is the part you're supposed." It's like, "This is the part you're supposed to tell me not to like walk very fast or anything." They just like kind of toss him out the van.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here, Mr. Slevin.
Does he then immediately get picked up by the boss's guys?
Again.
Yeah.
Because I know they put him in the suit. Like they get him all dressed up at some point.
Yeah. No, he goes back, and then that's when he has that scene with Lucy Liu when he like lays down next to her, and then she leaves for work, and that's when they show up with the suit. Yeah, because that's when
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like they want you to look nice.
I like how he spends the entire movie just being forcibly chauffeured everywhere.
Yeah. Just jumps around.
Like, time to go. I don't want time to go.
Yeah, the movie should have been named Josh Hartnett in Cars when he doesn't want to be.
Josh Hartnett has to go places when he doesn't want to.
Josh Hartnett in a towel.
For 35 minutes.
So he comes in this room with his target as his date. I guess this is the 2006 version of Tindering.
Yeah. You want some wine?
Or grindering, I guess. Yeah, he's like, you want some wine?
You want some wine? I'm not ready yet. You're early.
He got some lead instead.
Sure. He's like, oh, I need to tell you something. What? Someone is trying to kill you.
Who? Me.
Yeah, I didn't think he was gonna kill him.
Yeah, I also did not expect him just to blast him just like pretty much out of the blue. You're like, oh, there's gonna be something going on. Nope.
Yeah, I feel like that's the final nail in the coffin. This guy definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like that was slick. They were all anticipating the rabbi's son to kill him, and then they were gonna like Bruce Willis is gonna come in and finish the job.
Yeah,
so, I mean, and he nails it, and the guys don't even pop in yet.
And then Bruce Willis comes sneaking up the corner, sneaking through the hall. And after knowing what you know, I was like, oh, is Bruce Willis just going to get disposed of right here somehow? We're going to have some type of this wasn't supposed to happen movie.
Exactly.
But no!
That doesn't even look surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, like I guess that probably should have like meant something to me, but I guess I was just like, well, I guess this is not the plan anymore.
Yeah, he just walks in and just caps the guy right in the fucking head.
That's just as believable too that like an assassin like Bruce Willis's character would be like, all right, new plan, we just keep moving forward. Like that's believable too. So
yeah, but then we get to my favorite scene when so they're cleaning up the mess. He switches watches with the dead Nick Fisher that we find out it's actually Nick Fisher, the guy in the beginning.
Right. Yeah, we find out why or where that guy was coming into play.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then Bruce Willis gets ready because he hits the little panic button on the Juice Star. Star David. Okay, that one. I don't know what it's called. Whatever. And then it comes to my favorite part of the movie when these guys just jump straight through a fucking wall. To get blasted by Bruce Willis.
Yep.
It makes no fuck. They're like the Kool-Aid Man. You see, they're like, oh yeah, but in Israeli because they don't speak English. So they're like,
yikes,
whatever. Oh yeah, in Israeli is, and they just bust through the wall and then get fucking demolished by Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah, and also, so maybe you're thinking, okay, Bruce Willis is just going with a new plan, but then the fact that he has the body on tap and is ready to dump it there, he definitely wasn't planning on killing Slevin if he had the body with him.
I meant just in that moment.
Yeah, in that moment, and then once he brings the body, and you're like, oh, okay, because
they're in cahoots.
Slevin comes back into the room too. Yeah,
they're working together somehow.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Somehow they know each other.
Right. And if you think back to, Bruce Willis telling that story in the very beginning, and I think bringing the character he was telling it to back into it is a smart way to let you know that, okay, that story we told you in the beginning is coming back right now.
Yep.
Get you to start thinking about that.
So so that's when this is when the movie kind of like opens up, because you have that feel. You're already you're like, okay, so my whole world shifted around because now I know that these two are working together. So take it away, Tom.
Yep.
Awesome.
That work together. Back to you.
Yeah.
So they go.
I mean, I can't really remember the exact sequence they show it in, but they start showing you some of these scenes where you're seeing people get killed earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
But they don't show you who's doing it. They don't show you everyone's faces. They just show you that people are getting killed and they cut right away. And now they're going back and showing you that it was either Slevin or Good Cat. It was one of the two. Every killing they show is done by them and not by... You're led to believe at the beginning that it's either the rabbi's guys or the boss's guys just going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like that's how they set it up.
Before this happens, he goes and picks up the rabbi, right? He goes and bonks him on the head. Then he ties him up, and he makes a little speech, and Morgan Freeman starts talking to him, and that's when they start piecing all this together. It's we've been sold by the same salesman.
Yeah.
And then he brings up the shmoo. Never forget the shmoo because the shmoo comes back.
I believe there's a scene before that though, where Good Cat goes to the morgue. Right, that's before.
Yeah. When he pops
that is one of my favorite scenes because he just stands in the doorway and he's like, "I have that same phone," and just shoots her. I fucking love it. It's I have that same phone, and that's all he says.
I was like,
I mean, it's kind of a throwaway line, but I actually think it's kind of important. I'm not going to say why just yet. It's important to the ending, but. It's very minor, but it kind of gives you a look into.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Why?
Very cool. Same phone.
Thank you. So they're going. Yeah. So they're going to this whole sequence now to like the boss and the rabbi tied up together.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of like trying for like I didn't kill your kid, but your kid's dead. All that stuff goes on.
Yeah, the boss thinks he's getting the last laugh at this point,
which is like some of my favorite dialogue from Morgan Freeman this movie. It's like the way he's smiling and like looking at him with like that cocked look because they're like tied up together. It's so good. You can see like Ben Kingsley's like face like just start to like melt a little bit too. He's like, oh, you haven't heard? And he's like, wait, what? Heard what? It's some top tier acting, and that's when Josh Hartnett just walks down the stairs just like Morgan Freeman in the beginning of the movie, and talks about my favorite character in the movie, the Shmoo.
The Shmoo.
The Shmoo.
That right when we saw that first sequence and like they're like, "Where's Nick?" I was like, "Nick's the guy that got killed." Like I guess there was no reason for me to think that, but like that's immediately what I thought.
Yeah, because you're like, "Where's Nick?" And that's the only other guy they've shown you so far.
Yeah. They leave a lot of breadcrumbs in this movie throughout the movie until it really opens up like around this part.
Oh yeah, all these movies are like that. All these like detective like crime like twist solutions, they all have like little things like that lined up.
Yeah. Which is really good.
The ending felt very Usual Suspects to me.
Oh, there was like 3 different movies. I was like, "Oh, they're doing this ending. Oh, they're doing this ending." When we get to it, I'll literally tell you. I'll get to it. So then he comes down descends the stairs like in typical Bond villain way, and he gives a speech like, "It was me.
I killed your son, and then I killed your son."
I'm like unveils his whole plan and. Pretty sweet. Where you then at the same time he's doing this, the cop got a call from Robert Redford, and Robert Redford something was like, "Yeah, that name's Slevin."
No, it's not Robert Redford.
Yeah, that is not Robert Redford.
It's
not Robert Redford.
It's the guy from Breaking Bad that made people disappear.
I got his name mixed up. It's a wicked famous guy.
Yeah, I believe he died here. Yeah, exactly.
Robert Forster.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew it was like a famous Robert. I got his red.
You want a new Kirby vacuum?
While it's going on, he gets that call on. That's when it's like towards the end of that his little speech where he like tells them the entirety of his plan, and they're like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then he explains who he is and like why he's there. And then he puts those bags overhead and mutters one of my favorite Josh Hartnett lines, probably to this day. "You took everything from me. Fuck you both." And then just leaves them.
So we never mentioned at the beginning when the boss is talking to, or no, it's the story at the very beginning where Good Cat is talking to Nick. He's telling him about this story about how this guy overheard about a fixed horse race, and he called his friend who liked to gamble on horse races. So this guy bets on the horse race, but these gangsters who fixed the race caught wind of it, and they didn't like anyone betting on their race, so they blew that all up. They caught the guy as he was leaving, and they took him, killed his family, and it turns out that Slevin is the kid from the family.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only one that made it out. They killed his dad, they killed his mom, and we're at the very end. We find out. I
also suspected the same thing.
Yeah. I knew, like, right when they're telling the story, I'm like, "Oh, this guy's the fucking kid."
Yeah,
but they're not calling him Henry, so you're like, maybe not.
Even the first time they told that story, I was like, "That's the guy." Yeah. And then they said the kid was dead. I was like, "Okay, maybe not."
Right. So we find out that they brought in a specialist to take care of the kid because nobody else wanted to, and that specialist was Good Cat, and they set that up. At different points in the movie, they say that he's this world-class assassin. If you say the name, people know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He worked in New York, but he was gone for 20 years. And I mean, Slevin's character is like early 20s. They keep making references to like 2 decades ago. These guys came here.
Yeah.
So they're setting it up for a while.
Yeah, I think it's Bruce Willis at this point.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, they're giving it away with the whole 2 decades, 20 years, and Bruce Willis telling that story that Slevin could possibly be this kid.
Yeah.
So The reason I really like that scene in the morgue, when he says that weird line and shoots her, for two reasons. Because so Slevin pulled a fast one on Good Cat because Good Cat informed him that she made him took a picture.
Yeah.
So they needed to kill her. They needed to get rid of her. No loose ends.
Yeah.
But Slevin really liked her, so at the next morning in bed, he told her the whole story. And basically told her to wear a vest because he's going to shoot you in the chest.
Yeah.
So he saves her. Right. So he saves her, and I think that Good Cat knows what he's doing the whole time. Yeah. First of all, I think that's why he's so like kind of casual with her before he shoots her.
Yeah.
But also, this is such a weird guy. They never really give you too much backstory about him, but he's this world-class assassin. He just like shows up, drops bodies, and leaves. Does whatever he wants. It like the way I see it in my head is that he's kind of a weird guy, kind of on his own.
He has a code.
He's the guy that you call when you want to kill kids. Like he's this enigmatic guy, and he makes that call not to kill the kid because the kid turns around, sees the gun in the face, and he's not scared at all. He's like, "What is this? This kid's kind of weird." You know, maybe I was thinking at that point, you know, maybe this kid's kind of like me. I'll take him along with me.
Yeah.
And so it's just that line, like, I have the same phone. Like, he couldn't think of anything else to say because he's so fucking weird. Like, that's the way it struck me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when Slevin and Lucy Liu are in the terminal and Good Cat shows up and Slevin says, you know, I didn't think you would understand, which is so like mind-boggling because this whole movie is about Good Cat helping Slevin to get his revenge on these two assholes.
Yeah.
Like, he made the same call all those years ago when he was sent to kill the kid, and he's like, nah, maybe not. And he's like, you don't think I would understand?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really nice.
That was a nice way to wrap it up. I thought it was a dream at first.
I also realized we basically skipped over that entire car scene with Stanley Tucci. We barely.
Well, we not yet because you find out that Stanley Tucci, who at one point mentioned that he worked for that old bookie. Yeah. We find out that Stanley Tucci was the one that was sent to kill his mom. So
with a shotgun.
Everyone that's involved, every character that's involved, other than Lucy Liu's character, is like some connection to the overall story.
Bad dog.
Well, that's him because Good Cat, bad dog.
Yep. That's what clever means and whatever. And Slevin was the name of the horse that they were betting on. Lucky Number Slevin.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that scene a lot.
Yep.
I just I went through such a range of emotions with this whole this whole reveal scene. It's it's the usual suspects, and then it showed him saving him as a kid and taking him with him. I was like, I'm a professional. And then he put the plastic on him and just walked away. I was like, it's Saw.
Yeah.
And then they got away, and then they did the whole trick. They did the whole trick and got out with Lucy. It was like, Shawshank.
All these movies wrapped into one delicious
awesome
package.
Twist wrapped up right there.
Yeah.
Oh, and my other favorite scene I didn't mention. It's when they're showing that it's Good Cat and Slevin doing all the murders. There's the one in the parking garage where Bruce Willis is just on this weird elevator. He's just going up and just pulls out his gun and shoots him and just keeps going.
Keeps going up, without a
dialogue. No dialogue, barely any context, and the scene's just over.
Yeah.
Something they kind of glossed over where they kill, when they're doing those killing scenes and they're finding out why so they can get info to their books. I thought that was pretty cool, how that whole thing.
How they picked Nick in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was very clever. They found a guy who was in debt to both of them, and then they killed the bookie.
Yeah,
so they would.
Make him be the guy that they could both get out, that they could both want after. They had
right.
Yeah, he's just a loser.
Right. So Slevin is the one that killed the boss's son, and that's what got the whole thing started off. Because the boss is assuming it was the rabbi, and he's going to want revenge, but he needs it to be a job that doesn't look like a job.
Yeah, that was sick. That whole.
sequence. He fucking gave that kid no time. In, out, he took one step outside.
And fucking nailed him.
Yeah, he fucking...
Yeah.
His head would be a watermelon. Explode.
His head would be a watermelon.
That's an old JFK moment. That's a JFK.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Oh, my God.
He'd be cleaned off the windows.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I think we should get into ratings now, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Tyler, where do you sit with this movie?
All right. So I like how they do a lot of the things. I was definitely surprised, but wasn't at first. And the more I was separated a little bit, we talked about it. It's a little bit more predictable, and it wasn't just me. But this movie's well acted, well shot. There's good sound design in it. The breakups for comedies are good. There's a lot of things I like about this movie, and there's nothing I can really complain about that much. I'm gonna come in actually pretty high on this one, and I'll come in at an 8.2 on this.
Did not expect that, but that's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that high.
Yeah, cool. Ryan, what about you?
I definitely enjoyed the movie. The dialogue was probably still my favorite part. Than the twist ending. Honestly, didn't with the Lucy Lou stuff. It was cool and all that. I didn't really care that much about the relationship, to be honest. And also with the cops, just kind of seemed like they were there, but they didn't really have that much movement into it besides helping explain the twist.
Yeah.
So those the two things I'd probably ding the movie for. Besides that, I like the cops. It's just they felt more like they used them so they could do the really cool scene at the end while it's all going on.
Cannon fire.
While he's explaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, besides those two, my only two nitpicks. Besides that, I enjoyed the movie. I give it a 6.9.
Ooh. Tom.
Yeah, so I've seen this movie a bunch of times, but I always forget parts of it because they save all of it right for the end. Basically, I think there's a lot of little nuances that I picked up on in the 4 or 5 times I've seen it. I really like the cast a lot. I've said that many times, but the cast is what makes a movie for me sometimes. In this case, it's got a lot of big names, and they're all all the actors in this are great in serious roles, but they also know how to loosen up.
Yeah,
especially Morgan Freeman, Ben Kingsley, and Bruce Willis. They do that pretty well.
We don't talk about Ben Kingsley loosening up, though.
Yeah, we do in Iron Man 3. It was so good. That twist was so good. Yes.
Don't.
Yeah. The dialogue is great. Very snappy. Same kind of crime thriller with a little mystery thrown into it. I like a lot. I give it a 7.8.
Awesome. So I've seen this movie probably 12 times. I love it because of the guns, the grits, the girl, and the giggles. You get some good giggles in this movie. So I'm gonna come in pretty high. I'm actually gonna give it an 8.8, just because this movie's fantastic. I've loved it since my first viewing of it. I've seen it multiple times over the years. It's another movie that I show a lot of people too. To try to be hey, if you like decent movies, watch this one. So yeah, I'm gonna sit high at the 8.8.
Yeah, this movie's pretty approachable. You could recommend this to people.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a pretty well thought out movie. There's Ryan brought up a couple of the things the cops are basically cannon fodder for the end of the movie. So, but yeah, I love this movie and I'll watch it plenty more times.
Tom, what was your rating?
7.8.
So that gives us a 31.6,
which is officially our highest rated movie. I'm pretty sure, right?
No, Spiral is the highest rated.
Oh, Spiral. Okay.
3 of us gave it 9s.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. I for some reason I thought it was the highest rated. Okay, so it's second highest.
I think that would fit into being a gem, though.
It is. Yeah. That is certified gem territory.
I don't think we've really talked about what gems are and what our ratings.
I would say above 30.
Yeah. I don't think we've hit anything yet that you would put in that shiny mint category.
I think that would have to be 9s across the board or better.
I think that
by average. By average. So a 36 or higher.
30. That should be the Hall of Fame. 36 points or higher.
Yeah. This is Emerald City territory. You want to go there, but also there's a witch looming around, so maybe not. I don't know.
Somebody took it out of the box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the fucking box?
What was the overall? 31.
31.6.
31.6.
So everyone should definitely check this movie out because it is fantastic. It's on Amazon Prime for $4. Unfortunately, it's not streaming anywhere, which kind of sucks. But what? $4 to get you a good date night movie. Watch it with your girlfriend. Watch it with your boyfriend. Watch it with your Jewish partner. Who knows?
You might like it.
They might. Shalom. So next week I believe it's my pick.
It is. Yes. What are we watching?
So I'm the wild card, like always in every situation, whether it be
better not be an Adam Sandler movie.
It is not, which is funny, but it's not.
Endgame.
It's someone similar to Adam Sandler in some regards.
Oh, Jesus.
He was in a fantastic superhero movie called Green Lantern, the Ryan Reynolds flick. I'm gonna come out of the cut here and pick another gushy love story. Why? Because
don't pick Just Friends.
I'm not. No, why would that movie
be Just Friends?
It is not. It is not Just Friends. It is 2008's Definitely Maybe. It is a movie that I love and I watch probably like 3 or 4 times a year. It's directed and written by Adam Brooks, and it stars Ryan Reynolds, Rachel Weisz, Abigail Breslin, Elizabeth Banks, and Ilsa Fisher, and a couple other fantastic people. It's a great movie. I love it. It's on Netflix, so it's easy to watch. I'm very excited to watch this movie. It's probably going to be another one of those where I'm the only person that cares about this movie, but I don't give a shit because I'm going to make you guys watch some crazy
looking good,
movies.
yeah. Not looking good.
It came out on Valentine's Day in 2008, so there's a thing.
This one's got more critical support than the last one.
It does. It's actually a very good movie. There's political stuff in it.
I know for a fact that Ryan Reynolds is box office cancer.
But
definitely around this time.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with Bill Clinton, which is great because everyone loves Bill Clinton. Who doesn't love Bill Clinton? Name one person.
Clinton.
I can't.
Hillary.
Okay, you ain't wrong there. But yeah, this movie's fantastic. I love it. I'm very excited to watch this. I'm actually gonna watch it twice. I'm gonna watch it with the girlfriend, and then I'm gonna watch it by myself. So.
This man and his rom-com.
I think picking Ryan Reynolds just gave my next pick.
I was going to pick another movie, but this movie, I've been seeing it a lot. I've been wanting to watch it again, so I'm going to throw a curveball and not even pick a movie that I put on my original 4-piece list, because fuck y'all.
I'm looking at this, and it just looks like The Pursuit of Happiness.
It is nothing like that.
Oh, really?
It is nothing like that. It's a movie that's serious when it needs to be serious and funny when it's funny.
Okay.
And it's got Ilsa Fisher in it.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I might have to pick some.
Isla Fisher. I thought Isla Fisher was in the last movie you picked.
No, she wasn't.
I thought she was. That's just funny.
Oh yeah. That's full circle. Full circle.
Yeah. And they were actually Zach Braff and Ryan Reynolds were both from Scrubs.
That is also true. Yeah. All my picks are going to be people from Scrubs. Next week will be the next time will be Donald Faison.
Yeah, what's that movie? Legally Blonde? Was that the one he's in, or is that
Clueless?
Clueless.
Yeah, Clueless. Which also does have Paul Rudd in it. So it might. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in God knows how long, but I don't even remember if it's good. Probably not.
Uh-oh.
So I think that about wraps it up. So tune in next week when we watch another sexual rom-com with 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 different women.
Another John Carpenter rom-com.
If this movie doesn't get you laid, I don't know what will.
Jesus.
Take that to the bank and cash it. There's your free pussy check. Can I say pussy?
No.
Pussy.
No, cuck.
Yeah. I forgot to do a cuck meter for last episode. Or no, that was Cemetery Man. Never mind.
Yeah, that's when we went on I had to be 5-minute rampage about it.
Yeah, grilling cuck.
This guy never made another movie after this.
No.
So we will find out if it's good or not next time. Look at him. He's such an idiot.
He made Bridget Jones the Edge of Reason. What the fuck?
Yeah, wow, he does have a lot of weird movies, actually.
No,
Yeah.
he just wrote that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, that wraps up this stuff. So, Tyler, take us home.
All right. Goodbye.
Well, it sounds like crap, right?
No, I mean, I like it.